Think about the way your day moves. Whether it's a school cook lighting charcoal to boil a giant pot of beans, or a heavy truck hauling matoka into the city, every bit of work requires a push from somewhere. We see the movement and feel the heat, but where does that physical power actually start? If you trace every lit fire or humming motor back to its beginning, you'll find it comes from a massive, natural storehouse that surrounds us. It helps to think of our environment like a giant, fully stocked food store. The raw goods waiting on the shelves, the wind, the sunlight, the rushing water, are the potential energy the land holds for us. But you don't eat directly from the store shelf. You need a plate to serve it on. In the same way, we build specific tools, like dams or solar panels, to grab that raw power and deliver it to our homes. Look at this river. That massive moving water is the raw material. It is a powerful part of the land itself. Now, look at what happens when we add a tool. This heavy concrete wall was built to catch that water and channel it. The river provides the power, but this machine is what delivers it to us. Understanding the difference between the wild land and the machines we build helps us decide how to power our lives without using up everything in the store. Some aisles in our environmental storehouse have shelves that magically restock themselves. These are the supplies that naturally grow back or keep flowing, so we don't have to worry about the shelf ever being empty. Rushing water is a great example. Inside a dam, we guide the river so it pushes against the blades of a giant wheel. As that wheel spins, it turns a machine that creates electricity. The invisible wind works the same way. When moving air hits the blades of a tall tower, it forces them to spin. We are simply catching the movement that's already happening in the sky. Because the rivers keep flowing and the wind keeps blowing, we can get the power we need today without taking anything away from tomorrow. But there is another section of the storehouse that works differently. Think of it as a locked vault with a limited supply. Once we take something out of this vault, it's gone for good. This is where we find things like oil and coal. Millions of years ago, ancient plants and animals were buried under the mud and squashed deep underground. Over a vast amount of time, they turned into the thick, dark fuels we use today. Right now, we use drills like this one to reach those ancient stores hidden under the lake. It's a very strong, concentrated form of energy. The problem is that it took the Earth millions of years to make this fuel, but we can burn it up in a single afternoon. If we rely only on the vault, we eventually find ourselves with an empty store. Treating a limited supply like it will last forever is a gamble we can't win. We can also find power in things that are living right now. Most people use wood or charcoal to cook, but cutting down too many trees leaves our land dusty and bare. There is a cleaner way to get that heat. This underground tank recycles things we usually throw away, like farm waste and animal dung, and turns them into fuel. First, the waste is mixed with water and flows down into a dark underground chamber. This tank is sealed tight so that no air can get inside. Inside the dark tank, tiny organisms that thrive without air begin to break the waste down. As the waste rots, it releases bubbles of gas that rise up and collect at the very top. This gives us two things at once. The gas travels through a pipe to a kitchen stove for clean cooking, and the leftover waste is pushed out into a basin. That leftover material makes a wonderful food for your garden. This is a perfect loop. We take waste that would normally just smell and attract flies and turn it into the energy we need to cook our meals. The land gives us the raw materials, but it's our own cleverness that builds the tools to use them. We have a choice between two paths. We can keep digging into the limited vault that will one day be empty, or we can use the wind, the water, and our farm waste to keep our homes running. Using smarter technology means we can stop the heavy smoke in our kitchens and make our farms more productive at the same time. Look around your own home tonight. Think about which part of the land's storehouse is powering your lights or cooking your food. By choosing the power that grows back, we keep our land healthy and make sure our families have the energy they need for a long time to come.